started early 2012, so just over 6 years ago, just after my wife persuaded me that we needed a new roof, and we thought, well, why not have the loft floored at the same time? And then, well, you can guess what idea came into my mind. This might be an opportunity to build a monorailway. I think I always knew what I wanted if I was ever going to build a proper layout. And I'd been out of the game for about 40 years, except for a bit of dabbling with Lima and Hornby diesels with my son when he was a young teenager in his bedroom at the time. But I always wanted a Great Western Railway junction station. I remember a childhood holiday at Totnes in South Devon and still seeing a lot of ex-Great Western Railway locos and the branch trains and whatever. And so it had to be a Great Western junction station. To be honest, I originally thought of, well, let's cut my teeth again, let's build a branch line terminus. I love small prairies and all that kind of stuff. But then I thought, I like castles and kings as well, then I've got the space, let's go to whole hog and go for a main line layout with a branch line with a junction. It gives you the best of both worlds really, because I've got the roundy, I can run trains around to my heart's content and just watch them go by like a train spotter. But on the other hand, you've got all the operational capacity of a BLT anyway, in all the shunting of pickup goods, running round trains, and you've got the added junction stuff of tail traffic through coaches, etc. So that was the scheme. A lot of things were new to me when I came back into this game. I'd never heard of OOSF, never heard of DCC, never heard of static grass, etc, etc. But I read a bit on RM Web about OOSF, and I was persuaded by some of the arguments about the better running through the crossing and the better appearance of the crossing. But I think the clincher for me was I was determined to have bullhead track, but fully chaired bullhead point work as well. At the time, that meant building it myself. Adopting OOSF standards with 16.2 gauge through the point work meant that I could use C&L's ready-made crossing units without soldering up all the V's and everything myself. So it was a lazy man's decision really, and it worked out fine. What I'm after is building a back scene or a foil for the layout, a context for the layout. But I'm not a big scenic modeller as such. I couldn't spend hours and hours and hours building a single cottage and applying every tile by hand. I really admire the people that do, but I'm a bit more broad brush. So it was cuttings, embankments, line side fencing, distant vistas. I wanted it an open, spacious look. This is sort of South Devon in the 30s, way out from any town. At first I decided I wasn't going to have any non-railway buildings at all. I was just going to go for the station, the signal box, goods shed, all that kind of stuff. I then looked at the corner opposite the goods yard corner and thought, there's a corner crying out for something. Bachmann brought out a nice little low relief, 3/4 low relief church. That could look nice in the distance. And then the Pendon pub by Bachmann, well, yeah, no one would believe me if I didn't have a pub on the layout. So, and then something else to take the chocolate box look away, added the ratio garage kit. So hopefully that's a nod towards the rest of the world, that this is the fringes of a village, that the station does actually serve a village. It isn't just plonked in the middle of nowhere. I don't think I am that disciplined, to be honest. A lot of it's suck it and see, trial and error, bash things. I consider myself an old 60s style bodger and fettler of stuff. I'm trying to bend whatever the trade offers to my purposes, sometimes with appalling results, sometimes with satisfactory ones. But I suppose that if there's any discipline, it's trying to do one thing at a time and keeping a focus on what you're doing and not just flitting around from one thing to another. I've seen this last sort of 6 years as being phase one, if you like, which is building the layout, the infrastructure, the track work, all the scenery. I've now got a layout. There might be one or two more scenic touches or embellishments, but basically I've got a layout. Phase 2 is what I call tarting up the trains. Most of my trains are they're a motley collection of new stuff out of the box, old stuff bought on eBay, some stuff dating back to the 70s. Phase 2 is slowly bringing all that into some kind of order, some kind of cohesion, some kind of reasonable standard. What I'm after is a flavour, atmosphere of the 1930s Great Western Railway. Not in a slavish way, I'm not qualified to do that, I don't know enough and my modelling skills aren't great enough, but insofar as the offerings of the trade, past and present, allow, in trying to get that atmosphere and flavour.